As I said, tremendous. John Cartwright out there in the Scruffy Donaldson car number 6. Of course, that's the Jackie Hewitt-driven car. John looks like he's going to have a bit of a gallop around behind the field. Great to see Brian Donaldson up and about here this evening, and we hope we see his smiling face down in Melbourne over the Easter period.
All right, Standard Sedans feature. Just a quick message. Sean Williamson, we've got your South Australian driver's licence here up in the tower. Sean Williamson from Midway Road, Elizabeth East. If you're missing your South Australian driving licence, it would be a long way to come back to Wollongong to get it. So we'd advise you to run up to the tower here very, very quickly and pick it up here. Green flag waves as they get away for the Standard Saloons feature. 20 laps from a rolling start. And it's Trevor Wonson who heads them out. Tony Puckeridge will be the next one through. And then Ian Hunt, who's putting the hard word around the outside on car number 55 at the moment, the Valiant. And doing it nicely too, as Hunt, who gets through now into 3rd position. End of lap 1. Sees Trevor Wonson in the position that we've expected to see him so often lately. Doing it very, very nicely out in front with the new Mitchell and Wanson's Tirana, and Alan Cormick at the moment having all sorts of troubles with turn 2. Goes sideways straight in front of Fred Nicastri and brings Nicastri unstuck and brings himself into the fence again, and will cop a rear of field for that, I'm sure, at the restart.
Hope it's only an exchange of paint for him. He had a bit of a loop coming out of turn number 2 there, and a little bit of bumpo into the
Alan Cormick just hasn't had a good night at all tonight. It's been a bad night for him. That's the second time he's been in the fence tonight, and the old AP5 just not percolating right. Alan, a novice driver, I think had his first drive at the last meeting, so we're not making excuses for him, but everybody has to learn their craft, and Alan perhaps thrown into the deep end a little bit, is been a little overawed with it, but we're sure that he'll soldier on and get up there better and better as the night goes on. So it's Wonson to lead him off from Puckeridge. Hunt, Nicastri, who was very lucky not to get taken out in that accident with Cormick. And that's the first 4 place getters as they lead away, this time with 19 laps to go with the Standard Saloons feature race. It's Wonson leading from Puckeridge, from Hunt and Nicastri, and then number 3, which is Phil Bray.
We got the 103 car just deciding to check out the infield here as he had a bit of a loop right down the main straightaway. John Cartwright coming there very, very cautiously with that $1 million race car.
Yes, and Boyden will rejoin the race at the rear of the field, which now becomes the front of the field, seeing he spent so much time on the infield. And let's hope he doesn't hold up the traffic too much. Wonson leads from Puckeridge, Hunt, Nicastri, and Phil Bray. That's the way they've been almost since lap 1. And the question is, can Puckeridge make an impression on Wonson? He's certainly being held up at the moment. He goes down for the pole line now as Boyden does an impersonation of a mobile chicane there, doing a Nelson Piquet, I think. But anyway, that certainly gets Puckeridge back up on terms with Wonson, but he's going to need to get the pedal down and get right up there, because Trevor Wonson is just so fast around this track. That car is just so reliable, you cannot afford to let him have any breathing space at all. And this time Hunt elbows his way by Boyden. Nicastri follows him through in the gap that's left, and also Phil Bray as well, as Puckeridge moves up to line up Wonson as they go up the back straight with 15 laps to go.
John Cartwright just circulating around, trying all sorts of different lines in the USA 6 car there as he goes around into turn number 2, just getting faster and faster and faster. And as I explained to you earlier this evening, John normally drives a right-hand car, as we all well know, and it's a all new ball game when you get over that left-hand side of the race car.
Yes, it certainly is. I see so many drivers, when they were allowed to change over to left-hand drive, who got changed over to left-hand drive thinking it was the hot setup, and boy, there was a lot of them who took a long time to get adapted to that. In the meantime, Wonson slipping beautifully through the traffic, as we've seen him do so often. Puckeridge goes high, then ducks down low, moves up the inside of the Valiant this time, still in 2nd place, still Hunt in 3rd, and then Nicastri in 4th position, slicing their way through the traffic. Hunt round the outside, the Valiant down on the pole line, holding Nicastri up. Nicastri goes right to the outside. Phil Bray does well out of that to pick up quite a few yards, or should I say quite a few metres. I guess if we've got to go metric, we've got to go metric every inch of the way. But Hunt brings the whole thing unglued by spinning on turn 2, and that lets Fred Nicastri through now into third position. So it's Wanson with 11 laps to go in this standard saloon feature. Second place is Puckeridge, third place Nicastri, fourth place Hunt, and then fifth place Phil Bray. The Cortinas with the big 250 cubic inch engines really have the torque out of the corners, but Trevor Wanson has just so much experience as John Cartwright receives the black flag now and is asked to take the car to the infield. I would think mainly for his own and the car's own protection more than anything else. The driver's starting to lap, and so not to do any detriment to the drivers who are racing, and also not to do any damage to the car, Cartwright wisely pulls the 6PR car to the infield as Trevor Wanson goes on his winning way. We certainly anticipate that he will do that, barring mechanical trouble. I'd say that we're going to see Trevor Wanson in the box seat again. Puckeridge, the high line around turn 2. Nearly the length of the back straight now. Wanson has a lead over the second place man, Puckeridge. Third place is Nicastri, who's got to sort out his own dice with car number 102, and car number 102 does the wrong thing altogether and loses a wheel, a front wheel I think, in turn 3, and that will bring on the red light with 8 laps remaining of the 20-lap journey. 21 to Australia and 15 to America as we wind down the second half of the Standard Saloons featured. 9 laps to go as Wanson leads them away. This could work in Puckeridge and Nicastri's favour, Ian, because that's brought Wanson back to the field a little.
Yes, well, it's certainly give the guys running in the minors there a bit of a chance, and this is where the race is at between the first 5 cars as the leader goes a little wide off turn number 4 there, but the number 5 car just cannot catch up with him there. Well, the Cabby Auto Wreckers cars is trying to catch into the act there, but he goes very, very sideways off turn number 2. Have a look at that. Oh, thank you. And a bit of humpo-bumpo brings down the red off turn number 2, and another restart. Let's go, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Righto, Stewart having a good look at him with the green flag in his hand, and he wants to get him away as soon as possible. All right, we'll see if he's under the good luck plan or the bad luck plan. The good luck plan is he's going to start. If it had been the bad luck plan, it's good night, Mr. Chips. Okay, no start this time around. Stewart said, "You're kidding." But don't take it away from Trevor Wanson. He's out there really doing it well in the number 6 car, and Puckeridge beside him in number 5 is equally happy to do his little number as the black flag's pulled down on the number 3 car, who cops a sweet and goes infield.
And you can get the feeling that the rest of these boys who've been running up front tonight are rather anxious to get on with it.
They certainly are. Take nothing away from the first 4. It's been a great battle, and it's good to see these guys, such close racing that we've become used to seeing from this division. Okay, looking good this time. Stewart just checking the track to be clear. Looking good for a start, Phil.
Yes, the green being held up this time, but they're not happy. They want them in 2 rows, and Wanson, of course, is anxious to get out and lead again, which he was in before, and he obviously feels that if he allows Puckeridge any leeway at all on the outside of the pole line, he might get away.
You'd think George Tatnell's Winfield sponsorship was up for grabs here, the way these guys are getting into it, or maybe Noel Bradford's sheep station, but they're going to sort himself out this time. I think they've got the message off the Stewart. Couple more times and he might even throw the checker down him and say, "Well, that'll teach you."
I've seen that done before today too, just quietly. Yes, I saw that done to a whole field of compact midgets at Liverpool Speedway last Saturday night at the Grand National. They wouldn't form up, and so the steward just hung the checkered flag and says, "Bye-bye guys, you won't play. We'll give the racetrack to somebody that will." Yes, the green is shown this time, and it's Wanson leads away from Puckeridge. Hunt and Nicastri forget the rest because the action's up front, and the winner is going to come from those 4 who have been making the pace in Standard Saloons all night tonight. According to our look at the lap scorers board down in front of us here, there's 7 laps to go when Trevor Wanson passes the black and white this time. Wanson doing it nicely in the Wollongong Auto Wreckers car. Puckridge in second place in the Cortina, and still the Cortina's holding down second, third and fourth, and still some life in the old Fords. Nicastri moves up into fourth position now. There was a Cortina missing out of that, of course. Phil Bray it was, so it's Toronto in first and fourth at the moment, with a Cortina sandwich in second and third.
Okay, it's the General Motors car that's out in the front at the moment. Car number 6 of Wanson doing it well, pulling away from the car of Puckridge, which is the 5 car running second at the moment. There is a race going on for third, but we'll keep our eye on the leader. It can't be a lot of laps to go. Leader into turn number 1, and it's Wanson doing it really, really well. Little 6-cylinder Toronto percolating along as he gives it a big slam in the right pedal down the back chute. Into turn number 3 he goes, but have a look at Puckridge. He's trying to get back an inch every time, and he's made up about a car length of the last 2 laps. He's got to put down faster times at the moment because there's about 7 car lengths between them as they go past the judges' box.
And the big improver, Ian. The big improver is Nicastri, who's really giving Hunt a hard time now and could be looking good for a third placing in this race. Nicastri may just have timed his run to perfection to stay out of the trouble and be ready to pick up the third place sash when the race finishes. It's Wanson with 3 laps to go.
Run goes Wanson into turn number 2 and down the back chute again as the 55 car does a loop. Safely on the infield though, we haven't got a problem there. Second place, get it there, and we've lost one of them, Phil, as the red light's brought down.
Yes, Nicastri a little bit over-exuberant, try to stay on terms with Hunt there.
Could be a declared race, we're just going to see what happens here. They've had a lot of restarts. But Phil, can Nicastri get up and get Hunt?
Well, I don't know. This is what we're talking about, teams racing and how great the Australians are at teams racing. Here's a teams race for you. Both of those cars are sponsored by Cabby Auto Wreckers.
Well, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and say no more. Yeah, moving right along. I'm very sure that the steward will be happy with the start as they come around. Green flag raised, and it's dropped on the field. Away they go.
Oh, and Wanson caught napping there, gets the pedal down now, but they were very, very slow off turn 4. It was almost like a fender bender's race at Granville to start there. They doing 25 miles an hour backwards, they were going so slowly, but it's Wanson still leads from Puckridge. And Hunt and Nicastri desperate to pick up that third placing. Absolutely crawling all over the back of Hunt's car. If Hunt makes the slightest bobble here, Nicastri will have him, but Nicastri knows that the laps are running out, is trying for the outside line, and it's still a little bit slick around the outside there. He'll really have to use pole line if he wants to get by, and Hunt, an old stager, an experienced campaigner, who's covering the line beautifully and just not allowing any room at all for Nicastri to get by. White flag with 1 lap to go, thanks Ian. And it's Wanson from Puckridge, from Hunt and Nicastri. It's on for young and old, folks. Not many cars left running, but the ones that left running are the ones that matter. Off turn 4 comes Fred Nicastri. But it's going to be Trevor Wanson who's going to pick up the win. Second place will go to Tony Puckridge in number 5, then car number 7, and Fred Nicastri takes the 4th placing with car number 69 and car number 103, the only cars left running at the conclusion of the standard Saloons feature.
Okay, lap of honour for the winner of that last event, and please folks, put you know how many of these cabbie people are in this deal, or what's going on here?